Did you know that you can now connect your ChatGPT to your iMessage and it can read your messages or even send messages for you? Or maybe you didn't realize that ChatGPT images can now generate images with a transparent background. Well, those two things are absolutely nothing, because by the end of this video, you're going to learn about all the latest ChatGPT changes that you probably haven't seen yet. Let's get right into it. The first change that we need to cover is OpenAI is going to cut developer pricing for Frontier GPT 5.6 Sol by more than 20%. What does this mean? For the next 3 months, if you're using GPT 5.6 Sol on the API, they're cutting how much it costs. The reason that they're doing this is because they're facing fiercer competition from Anthropic and Chinese models, and they want to continue to be able to actually compete. So we could see that this is going to be effective on OpenAI's API. In addition to that, it's also going to be effective for eligible plans that use ChatGPT Work and Codex right here, which is absolutely incredible because this is literally priced this at $4 per 1 million token inputs and $20 per 1 million output tokens. And it used to be $5 and $30. So this is a massive money saving opportunity if you're using the API. And we could see it's now making it way more competitive against Anthropic's models. One other thing to call out, if you haven't seen it yet, is they also cut prices later last month for their other models. They cut one of them by 20% and the other by 80%. Now, the next update I want to show you is going to be that iMessage update that I was teasing earlier. Now, in order for you to be able to access this, you need to make sure that you are using the ChatGPT app on your desktop, and you want to make sure you're downloading the latest version. We can see that I'm actually going through doing that on the left-hand side. So now this is going to reset right here, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to set up this integration and what it looks like. So now that the app is actually updated, what we need to do is we need to come over to plugins on the left-hand side. You're now going to see messages right here. And if we click into this, we could see this can read, search, and send messages on this Mac. So we could see that this will actually allow ChatGPT to find conversations, to read, to search message history, and send messages or local file attachments through the native messages app on your Mac. So you need to be on a Mac to be able to do this, and you need to make sure that you also have messages already set up here. And this is pretty incredible because this is going to operate through an MCP server that we can actually come over here and we can control and see everything that it's actually able to do. And then once this is set up, we could see what we'll actually be able to do here. For example, suggest things from yesterday I need to follow up with. Then you can add your messages right here, and it will actually go through all of your text messages and see what things you should do. You could get it to actually send a reply. Obviously, you can actually review the messages before they're always sent, and you could always allow sending to this chat, or we could click on continue. Now we could see that this actually went through and this sent this text message on our behalf. It's inside of Codex, ChatGPT Work, and just inside of ChatGPT in general. Now, on top of that, ChatGPT now also has a new Google Drive integration. So if we come over here and we install Google Drive right here, what we're now going to be able to see is that we can work inside of our Google Drive documents, including Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, Excel files, PDFs, and uploaded files. And what's pretty cool is now this is actually going to allow us to produce files and structured content without having to switch between documents. And we basically now have ChatGPT inside of anything in Google Drive, which is direct competition with Google Gemini because they also had this, but ChatGPT's version is actually way more efficient. Check this out. And in terms of actually what this looks like, we can now come over to work. We could tag Google Drive when we go to do something like draft release notes in a Google Doc. Then this will actually do this. And if we open this up, it opens right next to our ChatGPT, and we could edit it however we want. And really what we're now beginning to see is that ChatGPT is working way better since they rolled out with plugins with all new applications. And what I would strongly suggest that you do is come into these plugins. They're adding new ones daily, and you want to make sure that you're looking at what is actually available, how you could actually use it. For example, Apollo right here is incredibly useful if you're somebody that wants to find leads, wants to reach out to people, because Apollo right here allows you to accelerate prospecting and outbound execution incredibly quickly with this right here. In addition to that, if we actually come over here, we could see everything that this is actually able to do, which is pretty cool. Now, the next thing that we need to talk about is we can now create logos with transparent backgrounds. So let's say that we come over here and say something like, create a logo for my construction company with a transparent background. We can now see this has a transparent background. If we actually click into it, we won't see that. We'll just see the blank background. But if we come back out here, we're going to see once again that this now has a transparent background. And this is incredibly helpful because in the past, what we actually had to do was we had to download this logo. Then we had to pull it into another platform. We had to remove the background, and a lot of times it would mess it up. In fact, if we look at this right here, we could see there's very thin lines, so this would actually hurt us. Now, if you want to create better images on ChatGPT, you need to make sure that you are using the My Prompt Buddy prompt optimizer that I have right here, because we could see that instead of using a standard prompt, we could use an AI image prompt, and I want to show you in real time how good of a job this does. So we could actually copy this prompt, which would be our current prompt. We could come over here and do an IPO output. I'm going to say a professional, transparent background logo that looks like a professional designer made it. We're going to click on optimize prompt right here, and this is going to generate us a new prompt, because when you use basic prompts like this to create images, to get work done, or just to chat with ChatGPT, it's not going to look good. But if we now come over here and grab this optimize prompt and paste this in, we're going to see it's going to create a much better image. In addition to that, if we come over here to shortcuts, we can actually come over here and save all the prompts that you use all the time, which you could access then directly from inside of ChatGPT, literally just by clicking on that Chrome extension. And now look at how much more professional this actually looks right here. If we click into this, we could see that this logo looks way better than this logo from the basic prompt. So please make sure that you are optimizing your prompts right here. This literally shows how big of a difference this makes. And this is just on an image. This is going to change everything else that you could do in ChatGPT, because it doesn't only work for image prompts. And the best part about My Prompt Buddy is that if you go to the pinned comment below, you can get started with it today for free. I use this tool every single day, and you're going to love it. It's going to help you build better prompts, better images, and make sure that you never lose a prompt ever again, because you'll be able to save them. Now, the next change I want to show you is also going to be a setting from inside of ChatGPT on your desktop, because now you're going to have computer history right here. We could see that we could come over here, we could turn this on, we could pause this. If we wanted to come into permissions right here, we could actually choose what apps and what websites this will not track. But essentially, whenever you have the ChatGPT app open on your computer, this is going to record everything that you're doing. It's going to see the apps that you're using. It's going to see what you're actually doing here. And we could actually click into each of these and see how it's actually breaking down. And basically what this is doing is creating these MD memory files on our local machine right here that it is then able to access in order to better understand what we're doing when we're not actually inside of ChatGPT, which is pretty insane. This goes through my sponsored assets and me dealing with my purchase order with Ferrari, goes through other sponsored stuff. So now this has way more context into what I'm actually doing. And if we wanted to, we could come over here and we could clear this for the last 10 minutes, last hour, last day. Like I was saying before, you could actually choose when to actually use this and when not to use this. And this is going to make your ChatGPT way more powerful. In addition to that, if we come over to computer use right here, this is where you can actually let ChatGPT control apps on your computer, control anything else. You could download the Google Chrome extension, and it will actually sync up the data between the Chrome extension, ChatGPT desktop, and ChatGPT on the web, also on your mobile device. And if you turn this on right here, this will actually let ChatGPT use your Mac when it's locked. So I want you to think about this. Let's say you're out to lunch, you're boarding a flight. Maybe you are on a flight or you're doing whatever and you don't actually have access to your computer because maybe you put it in your luggage, or maybe when you're out to lunch, you didn't bring it. You can now allow ChatGPT from your mobile device to access your computer and its local files, even though your computer isn't turned on, your computer isn't with you. This is a must use if you are a heavy user of ChatGPT. In addition to that, if we come over here and do app shots, you want to make sure that this is also turned on, because this is going to allow you to actually hit these hotkeys right here. It will then take a screenshot of whatever you're doing. Maybe it's an article, maybe it's an X post, maybe it's whatever. And then guess what this will actually do? It will automatically import it into ChatGPT or into Codex and be able to answer you, be able to do whatever questions you want. And it's pretty incredible because you then don't have to actually screenshot something, go through your files and drag it in. It just does it automatically. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is we now have reservations inside of ChatGPT. For example, we could say something like, I am going to be in New York City Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. I want to eat omakase. Please find me reservations. And then what this will actually do is go through, search for reservations, and this is actually going to display them directly inside of here. While this goes through and actually does this, another thing that I did want to show you now, because I find this incredibly useful, is now if we actually hover over all of our different chats, this is actually going to show us whether it was a chat or a work chat, which I personally find incredibly useful. Now we can see that this actually goes through, and this is giving me all of these right here. So I have this right here. I have omakase room. I have Shiro. If I scroll down a little bit more, we can see that it's got other things right here, like it checked Xi'an, but Xi'an is unfortunately closed, which is why it's showing no reservations. But we could see this literally shows me exactly when they're available, what the exact reservation is, and I could go through and book it, which is pretty incredible right here. In addition to that, you can also now use ChatGPT inside of your Gmail, which is pretty cool. For example, we could come over here and we could say something like, I want to draft email to Ferrari about how they didn't include my current car on the purchase order. Please do that. And then this will actually go through. This will draft the email. And what you're going to notice is that there's going to be a send button that we will now be able to do. And it will actually send it on our behalf on our email, which is pretty cool. We can see right here that we could actually connect it to our email and be able to do that. We could open it inside of our email, or we could copy and paste it incredibly easy directly from inside of here. And again, ChatGPT has access to your email. It can then search through your email. It could get all of that context. It can send emails on your behalf. And this just makes life way easier. In addition to that, the next thing I did want to show you is now if we come over to sites right here, you could get ChatGPT to build you a website. If we click on open in browser right here, and I'm actually going to come over here and make this full screen, we could see I had them make me a website for an accelerator that I might put on for TikTok growth and monetization. And we could see that this went through and this created this, and this looks incredible. The design is great. The copy is great. If we wanted to change anything about it, we would be able to simply just message inside of ChatGPT and it would change anything that we want. Or if we wanted to leave a comment, we could come over here and we could actually annotate this entire thing. If we click on these settings right here, we could actually come over here and see that this has access to our cookies and our passwords, password autofill, our downloads, our history. We could clear the browsing history. And this is pretty incredible because guess what this now allows us to do? This allows us to actually host this website if we wanted to. We can make it so everybody could see it. We could share it. If we come over here, we could actually access the analytics, access the settings. We could edit it. And basically, you now don't need another tool in order to host a website, send people to a website, or even see analytics on a website, because now you can do all of that from directly inside of ChatGPT, which is pretty mind-blowing. Now, the final thing that I did want to call out is now if we are actually using ChatGPT from our desktop app, we come over here, we click on new chat right here. I'm going to X out of this. We are now going to be able to see that we could see right here, if we click on this computer, that we can actually choose where the chat's going to be run. On our computer, where it can read and edit local files, or in the cloud where it can't access local files. And basically, you might want to choose between these depending on how much security you want inside of ChatGPT. In addition to that, the same thing right here, we could give ChatGPT full unrestricted access to our internet and any file on our computer. We could only approve for us, or we could ask for approval every time. And those settings are really just going to come down to how comfortable you are with ChatGPT having access to your local computer and everything that's on it. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about the latest updates that Claude just dropped, I would strongly suggest you check out this video right here that walks you through all of them. I'll see you over there.